What if I told you that there's a point where more exercise could potentially harm rather than help you? Surprised? So am I. We're about to reveal a study that shocked us all, suggesting that the golden rule of more is better might not apply in the weight room. Join me in scrutinizing the results of this mind-blowing research study that challenges our most basic understanding of strength training. So without further ado, my name is Jeremy Colon, and this is the Dark Side of Fitness episode 77. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome to my channel. We focus on transforming your body from the inside out. If you're ready to take your fitness journey to that next level, like this video and subscribe to my channel for more whole body transformation content. Sometimes the results of a study just don't make sense. That's how I felt last year when I read a research review on the health benefits of strength training. The major takeaway wasn't a surprise. Resistance exercise lowers the risk of cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and premature death from any cause. What left me gobsmacked were these calculations. For protection against cancer, cardiovascular disease, and premature mortality, the benefit was strongest for participants who reported an average of 30 to 60 minutes a week of strength training. The benefit disappeared for participants who said they trained for an average of 140 minutes weekly. And the risk of premature death increased for those who reported more than 140 minutes a week of lifting. Think about it. How could the life-extending power of resistance exercise become such a health hazard after 140 minutes a week? We're talking about 3 45-minute workouts, more or less. It's what might be prescribed to a typical fitness client, and it may be significantly less time than you spend in the weight room for your workouts. And how could the benefits of strength training peak with just 1 or 2 30-minute training sessions a week? Your first instinct might be to dismiss the findings, which go against so much of what is known about resistance training, or for that matter, about fitness in general. But what would you say to a person or colleague who heard about this study and wonders if they should cut back on their training? For this review, I'm going to focus on 2 key questions. First, what could explain the odd results of this study and others like it? Second, are the results of strength training more important than how much time we spend doing it? Question number 1, how could less training be more beneficial? The authors of a recent paper in the Journal of Health and Sports Science attempted to answer this question, or instead they explored why that conclusion may be flawed. The most glaring issues, the underlying studies, the ones included in the review, were based on self-reported information from participants. Even if we assume participants accurately remember how much time they put in, we have yet to learn what they did. Did they lift weights? Use resistance bands? Do calisthenics? What exercises did they do? How many sets and reps? How hard did they work? What were they trying to accomplish? All those variables could affect their long-term health in ways that can't be quantified by the numbers and minutes they spend doing them. But even if we knew exactly what participants did, we still don't know any biological mechanisms that would explain why less is more and more is less. In the absence of that, I'll go with the author's best guess. High volumes of resistance exercise, they wrote, may put a small number of individuals at a higher risk for adverse health outcomes, which is similar to the effects of extreme endurance exercise. Question number 2, are training results more important than the process? Let's say we gathered 100 people in a park and gave them a straightforward instruction. Walk for 30 minutes. Some would walk faster than others. Some would take longer strides. Many would take the easiest route, while a few would seek the most challenging one. But they would all have a critical thing in common. They're walking. They're all participating in the same activity. Now, imagine that we assembled those same people in a fully equipped gym and told them to work out for 30 minutes. What would that look like? It would probably look like a few different things. One group might dash for the squat racks or bench press stations and work their largest muscles with heavy weights, low reps, and long rest periods. Another will swarm the dumbbell rack and compete for spots with unobstructed views of themselves in the mirror. They would target specific muscles with moderate weights and as many reps as they can grind out. Many would head for the machines, working whatever muscles the illustration tells them they're working. And a few would seek out the kettlebells or TRX, with the goal of training functional movement patterns rather than muscle groups. After 30 minutes, what would each group have accomplished? The ones on the machine might be finished. The ones in a dumbbell rack might be halfway through a typical workout, and the other two groups, after extensive warm-ups, might just be getting started. That brings us to a 2016 study by University of Mississippi researchers. They began with a database of 2,773 middle-aged and older adults who've been tested for leg extension strength and followed for an average of 10 years. They've also been asked about resistance training. Those who said they'd done at least 8 workouts in the previous month were classified as meeting the official guideline for muscle strengthening activities, MSA. Now, if the process of training was the most important variable, those who met the MSA guidelines should have the lowest risk of premature death, regardless of their leg strength. And if strength matters most, those in the top quartile on the leg extension test should have the lowest mortality risk, regardless of how often they work out. Here's what happened. According to these findings, the strength building and maintaining benefits of resistance training are most important than simply time spent doing it. And the last number is an eye-opener, a whopping 72% reduction in mortality risk for those who are both strong and actively training for strength, according to their self-reports. But it comes with an equally big caveat. Just 5% of the participants met the MSA guideline and were also in the top quartile for leg strength. We're talking about 133 individuals, only 10 of whom died during the follow-up period. Here's some context for the other numbers, right? Just 14.7% of the participants met the MSA guidelines at least 2 strength workouts a week. The majority of that group, representing 9.2% of all participants, were outside the top quartile for leg strength. Most of those in the high strength quartile, 23.5% of all participants, didn't meet the MSA guideline. But the surprising findings about strength training aren't the only things you need to consider for your health. Do you ever think about how your snacks might be affecting your brain? You'll definitely want to check out our video, What Your Snacks Are Really Doing to Your Brain. Just as the optimal time for lifting weights isn't as straightforward as we thought, the effects of your favorite nibbles on your brain might surprise you too. Now, here are some expert coaching takeaways from this study. Number 1. Don't let these studies determine your training program. If you're someone who is limited to just 2 strength workouts a week and you don't have the time or patience to exercise for more than 30 minutes at a time, I have good news. Research suggests that a training schedule is ideal for long-term health benefits, including a lower risk of premature death from any cause. On the other hand, if you're willing and able to work out longer and more often, take advantage of it. But regardless of how much or little time you're willing to put in, remember that the goal of strength training is to get stronger or maintain the strength you have. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Now that you got some new insights about strength training, why not dive a bit deeper into the world of fitness and health? If you ever wonder why it gets tougher to maintain your weight as you get older, I've got a video that will answer your questions. What really causes weight gain after your 20s? And another one, are you stress eating yourself into obesity, which has some eye-opening information that could be a game changer for your health? Check out these videos and let's continue this journey together. See you next time.